What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another UFC preview show. This one is for the much anticipated UFC 245 card taking place in the iconic Madison Square Garden. I am joined by the bald beast, Jalen Johnson, and I'm also joined by resident MMA expert, Blake. How's it going, you guys? Yep. Yeah, that's all right. Fair enough. Don't want to say anything. Unreal. Got to put this whole show on my back, like usual. Is what it is. But
Oh,
folks,
sure.
we're going to be going to the prelims first. Then we will also be giving a fight by fight breakdown on the main card, and also give each of our predictions on it. But let's start with the prelims. One of the big things that sticks out is Platinum Mike Perry taking the go home fight on the prelims. What are your guys' thoughts on that one?
I think it's pretty interesting how early, how soon he's coming back from that Vicente Luque fight.
Mm-hmm.
His nose just got obliterated in that fight, and I'm wondering if maybe this is too soon of a fight for him to take it, especially if he's going to engage in that kind of brutal bloodbath fight that he always likes to pursue. So I'm hoping that he goes out there and takes care of business because I'm a big Platinum Mike Perry fan,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely have my doubts.
That's a fair reasoning, Jalen. You kind of had the same take, or what you think?
Yeah, I definitely think Neil is a pretty good prospect right now, and he's kind of rolling while Mike Perry's kind of handling. So it's kind of like opposite momentums. Um, Based off of momentum, I think Neil takes this. But I'm a big Mike Perry fan, so you always kind of hope he pulls it off. But I'm kind of leaning more towards Neil's taking this one.
Yeah, that's fair. Honestly, I'm not expecting. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on Mike because he kind of had a rough fight his last go around, and this is on. He didn't have much time is it for a camp, especially after getting knocked the fuck out the way, or beat the fuck up at least the way he did last time. Uh, I don't know how I feel about him in this one, but I'm just hoping for a good fight at least. That's what I kind of like the prelims in a way, where it's just getting ready for the main card, just trying. It's like an appetizer. I just want to sit down and watch some good fights. But it's crazy. Like if it's anything like the 244 prelims, where with everyone getting knocked the fuck out, I'd be down.
But you know what? Mike Perry is going to deliver fireworks. I really haven't seen a Mike Perry fight that made
No,
me disappointed, really,
no,
besides maybe
we
the
can.
Max Griffin fight.
Yeah, we know
But other
if
than that,
Mike's in the fight,
really,
it's going to be a fun one to watch, without a doubt.
yeah.
Definitely.
And even in that fight, it was still a bloody mess. Like, he was still going out there swinging and everything. But
Dude doesn't give a
he,
fuck.
hopefully, he goes out there and, is sharp and fights his heart out because that guy is a savage and a warrior. He always puts on a good show.
Yes, he
So
does.
I'm excited to see him perform.
Yep, same here. I've got nothing against. I just want a great fight.
Definitely.
That's a big part about the prelims. But let's begin our discussion on the main card, which is five just really big time fights. There's no like on a lot of pay per views. You might have the main event and the co-main is solid fights. Then the other three are just kind of there. But on this one, all these fights have a place on a big UFC card. Honestly, all these fights could main event either
Yeah,
big
fight night.
time fight nights or also their own monthly pay per views.
Mhm.
Definitely.
The first fight of the night, the one that's going to open up the card, that's going to be a bantamweight division match against number 4 Peter Yan and number 12 Uriah Faber. Uriah is making his second appearance in the UFC since unretiring. He came back for a UFC fight night in Sacramento during his like June, I believe, and so this is his second fight back. How's this one going to go, fellas? Blake, you want to start us off on this one?
I think this is a very interesting fight. For Uriah Faber, there's a lot on the line. If he wins this fight, I think it's pretty much a title shot next.
Mm.
I don't think he has anything else left to prove after that. He'll be taking Peter Yan's spot.
Okay.
Um, Now, what's going to be interesting is will Henry Cejudo go back to 125, or is he staying at 135 when he comes back from injury? But that's something for another discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, if Uriah Faber can figure out a way to beat this Peter guy, who I don't know if a lot of people know about this guy, but he is really good. Like every time I've seen this guy fight, he is just beating the shit out of somebody. I remember he fought another Team Alpha Male member, Teruto Ishihara, I want
Uh-huh.
to say, about a year, maybe almost a year and a half ago,
Okay.
and he knocked him the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was wild. So Uriah Faber has a really tough test ahead of him this weekend. If he can pass this, I think he just about proves that he's still up there in the upper echelon of UFC athletes that are still actively performing. So
I think
there's a
he still
long
definitely has a chance in this fight. Let's try and make
for
a.
his last,
This is a big
fight, he was
statement
punched
fight,
before.
man.
Yeah, and he's adding what's really interesting to me too is he's still adding tools to his repertoire. Like he gave all of his credit to his last fight to his teammate Yang Song,
Mm-hmm.
who I believe is a Chinese fighter. I
Mhm.
want to say, and he taught him the punch that he threw.
Oh.
If you watched it, he set up that same punch in some of his fights, and he noticed like, wow, that's something that I can really add to my game.
Huh.
And he noticed that Ricky Simon did something that gave him that opening. And so it's really awesome to see that Uriah Favors takes all these young cats in, gives them a place to train, and actually still takes stuff that he picks their brains still. Like he's
That's
still learning at
awesome.
this stage, not shutting down.
Hey,
It's
that's
it's
that's
really
a
cool to see,
scary sign if he's still getting better at 41. That's bad
right?
news.
And I mean, how long has it been since he's had a knockout on his record? And he got one while he's 40 years old.
Yeah. No, we all know Uriah Faber was not a knockout artist by any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all.
Hard to beat that weight class. It really is. I mean, unless you're like a Marlon Moraes guy or maybe a Cody Garbrandt coming up, it's rare, very rare do people have that type of kind of
Power.
description of all of them. They
Yeah,
don't have that.
exactly. I gotcha. I'm with. Yeah, I think I'm with. Oh, it really hurts to say, but honestly, I might be rolling with Peter in this fight against Uriah. I really
I
don't want to
mean,
say that against the hometown kid, but Peter is a scary fighter, and there's nothing holding him back. Honestly, I think he takes this one. I think he is going to make a statement to give him a title shot coming up really soon.
I think it favors Uriah that it's a 3 round fight.
Yeah, I think so too. Jalen, what do you think?
Um, I definitely think it's going to be a good fight. My opinion on where this fight goes is I think that the winner of this fight will most likely end up fighting the winner of the fight that comes after this, which is Jose Aldo versus Moraes.
Uh
I
huh.
think winners of this fight and that fight each other, and the next one
For a
gets a
number one
title shot.
contender, I'm okay with
Yeah.
that.
So I think this one could favor Uriah right now because Pierre Yan is coming off of 2 wins in a row, but his last 2 wins have also been decisions.
Okay.
So I think if it goes down to decision, Uriah could definitely win this unless he's been learning, and he definitely has been learning,
Mm-hmm.
especially over there at Team Alpha Male. It's just a lot of young fighters, and you kind of can pick up stuff without trying to pick up stuff. You kind of just learn moves and see stuff, and you try stuff.
I
And
feel it.
Uriah Faber is no different than anybody else there. He comes to work, and then you pick up stuff. And as we saw against Ricky Simone, uh, he learned how to knock people out, I guess. So
Damn right
it
he
would
did.
definitely be crazy to see how both these fighters go
Yep.
because both of them are definitely going to be going for the finish. So I don't think this goes 5 rounds. I mean, not 5 rounds, 3 rounds for a decision
Mm-hmm.
um, at all. I definitely think this gets finished in the second round.
Who's taking it? We gotta get a prediction, Jalen. Who's taking this one?
I think Uriah takes it. I think
Okay.
he's just Peter Yan. He's rolling right now,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like Uriah
The
knows that
experience,
if he
man.
loses this fight, he's probably not going to get another chance.
Mm,
So I think Uriah kind of leaves everything out there, and I feel like he's going to catch Peter Yan slipping. I definitely think Peter Yan is definitely probably the younger, better fighter at this moment.
hmm
I think Uriah's knowledge of that this is probably going to be his last chance at a title, and knowledge that if he lets this keep going, because the fact that he is 40, yeah, he could be in good shape, but it's probably in his best interest to not let this go 3 rounds.
I agree.
Youth kind of he doesn't like. I feel like you shouldn't let youth come into play.
hmm
So I feel like he needs to go all out and try to take him out.
All right, I could roll with that.
So
So,
yeah, I
but
definitely think this goes second round.
all right, to get this straight, we have Blake and Jalen going Uriah favorite. Jalen specifically a second round knockout for Uriah, and I'm gonna take Peter in a decision.
Hmm.
Moving on into the next fight of the night is another bantamweight matchup, and that is between Marlon Moraes and Jose Aldo. Jose is making his bantamweight debut with this fight. He's going down a couple weight classes. His recent pictures, he seems a little. He doesn't look good, but if he says he's feeling good, and then we gotta roll with it because that's what we hear. But how's this fight going down on Saturday night?
I'm intrigued
Uh,
by it, definitely.
yeah.
You
I
think
want to see how Jose Aldo performs at 135.
I'm really
He
curious
definitely
about that too.
really, really lean, so to say.
hmm
Um, and he's fighting a killer. Marlon is no joke. I mean,
He
he can
almost
put
beat Henry
you,
Cejudo over the summer.
yeah, he can put your lights out quick, fast, and in a hurry. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who goes out there and has a killer instinct, and if Jose still has that power, that if that power carries over from 145 down to 135, we're going to see if he can go in there. He's going to have a little bit of a reach advantage on Marlon. Looks
hmm
like about a 3 inch reach advantage, 70 to 67. So we'll see if that plays a factor possibly. But it's going to be really interesting to see who kind of comes out there and tries to dominate.
I like it. Who's what's your give me your winner?
I'm going to have to go with Marlon just because Jose is coming down the weight class.
Yeah. Finish.
I think it's tougher for someone to come down a weight class when they've been somewhere for so long in their career.
hmm
It seems like a very drastic change at this point in his career, but we'll see. He could definitely make me throw.
Yep.
I think this fight, three round fight. I want to say Marlon Moraes finishes him in the. I want to say Marlon finishes him in third.
Okay. That's exactly where I was going to go with that. Honestly, I was going to say Jose is one of the most experienced fighters in the game right now. He's I mean, he's 28-4. That's impressive as hell in the UFC. And I think I'm just don't like him moving down two weight classes like that. I don't think it's going to be that healthy. I don't know if there's a point to doing that either. But Marlon is just a killer, and if he's anything like he was in that fight with Cejudo over the summer, he's going to take this knockout, and I think it's also going to be in the third round. Jalen, what do you think?
Hmm. I think Jose coming down. It's kind of going up slightly easier just because not losing weight anymore. Just have to do strength training. You
Mm-hmm.
kind of get used to having the weight on. You kind of can pack more power in. So going down a weight class, especially this late in his career, um, I think it'll be difficult for him. I think he tries to finish it early because the fact that he's not used to being at this weight. I think he tries to go in there and finish it early and
Okay.
see if he still has that power. I don't think this makes it out the first round. I think Moraes has too much power, and Jose is going to come and try to finish it with his power. And I feel like somebody's going to get caught. I don't think it's. I think it's going to be first round
First round
knockout.
knockout. Okay.
Um, I think Moraes kind of needs this more. I think Jose needs to go back up. I think he should have stayed up there and waited for a title shot again.
Hmm.
He was on a roll definitely before the Volkanovski fight, but I think you lost to the guy who might win on Saturday. So I think you could have waited, got one more fight up there, and then went for another title shot.
Yeah.
Uh, I think Marlon kind of wants to prove something.
So you think Marlon's
Um,
going to take this by
this
knockout
yeah, I think Marlon's going to take this by knockout in the first.
first?
Um,
All right.
I just think Marlon's not going to let another guy come to his weight class
I feel it.
and, and destroy him.
I don't
You already
think he
let
does
Henry do
either.
it. I don't think he's going to let the second person come and do it.
No, there's no way. Me and Blake both are saying that Marlon Moraes by knockout in the third, and Jalen, you're going with knockout in the first for Marlon. I like it.
Yes.
Moving on into now our title fights. The first title fight of the night is going to be it's going to be a women's bantamweight fight, and that's going to be between current champion Amanda Nunes versus number one contender Jermaine de Randamie. Uh, I don't see Jermaine taking this from Amanda. Amanda is one of the scariest. I think she's the scariest woman on the planet right now. The best women's fighter of all time. Current double champ, and there's no way in hell she loses this, right?
In my mind, I think she should go out there and take care of business. She's better in pretty much every aspect, in my opinion. She should have no problem going out there and either beating her by decision or possibly, hopefully, finishing her.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, dude, if we're going how it's supposed to be, Amanda Nunes is going to walk out there and knock her out in the first round. She's going to make a statement, and it's going to be evident that there is still in some women's divisions there's a big gap between champion and number one contender.
It'll be interesting to see what she does. That's for sure. I'm not totally sure if she's going to go out there and get the first round finish, but if she does, that definitely wouldn't surprise me.
I'm going with it, Blake. So she gets a finish, but in what round are you thinking?
I would think more in the probably third to fourth round range. I
So
think
you
she
think
has
it
some
might go
merit.
championship rounds?
Yeah, I think so. Just because, as we saw with like that Raquel Pennington fight, sometimes it takes her a little bit longer to kind of beat down these girls, and no shame in that for sure. I mean,
No,
she
that's
she
fair.
finds a way to win anytime she's in there.
Yeah, it does. Jalen, how are you feeling on this matchup?
Mm, I think Amanda Nunez kind of solidified that she's the best. I know she has
Ever.
four losses. Yeah, I know she has four losses on her career, but she's definitely a different fighter from back when she had those
Her
losses.
last 2 years
Uh,
have been unreal.
yeah,
Was it ever
it's
since she
definitely
put down Ronda Rousey for Rousey's last fight in the UFC? She's just taken
and
over
Holly
and ran
Holmes.
with the title for best woman in the game right now.
Yeah, it's she's just been tearing through people, and it's been kind of sad to watch for the
It's
other
been
people.
painful, man. It's
I think she comes in and she's gonna make a statement. They both go out there and throw. Jermaine just had another quick fight, and a fight I think should have been canceled in my opinion. She had a quick finish. I think they go out there fast. I think Amanda Nunez is going to try because I feel like a lot of people are kind of giving Randomly a lot more credit than Amanda would like to give her, and
hmm
I think Amanda's not going to like that, and she is going to be pissed. So
I would not
I
want
think
to.
she goes up there and tries to knock her out.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get in the way of Man Nunez, especially when she's mad. Fuck that.
Yeah,
She's built. She's a woman, but she's built like an NFL linebacker. She's scary.
definitely.
She's a freaking nature. So Jalen, you're going to knock out in early rounds. You think like the second,
I think this one ends fast too.
first
I think
round?
we're gonna have a pretty quick main card this one.
All right.
I think this one also ends in the first or early second.
All right. So me and Jalen going early round knockout. Blake, he thinks it's going to be a knockout for Amanda, but it might make it to the championship rounds. The next fight, honestly, I I can't tell if I'm more excited for this one or the main event, but the co-main is going to be really good. and that is going to be a featherweight title bout between current champion Max Holloway, Blessed MMA, against number one contender Alexander Volkanovski. Fellas, thoughts on this one? Jalen, you want to lead us on this one?
Yeah, this is Volkanovski's been waiting for this. His teammate just got himself a belt, Israel Adesanya. I think he definitely wants his next.
Mm-hmm.
Max Holloway is coming off of his last fight. His last fight was for the belt, resident
Yeah.
against
Yeah, here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a good one. I think a lot of people are giving Volkanovski that good of a chance just based off of Max's striking.
Hey,
I
Volkanovski
think
is a killer.
yeah, I think Volkanovski is a killer. I think this one goes. This one might go the distance. I don't think Holloway really has power to really knock people out cold. I think he's more of a he puts out a lot.
Like a
His
death by a
output is a
thousand
lot.
cuts.
Yeah, and he opens you up until it's you kind of just bleed out.
Yeah. That's a good
But
description of it.
I think Volkanovski's more of he's either going to take you down and pummel you, or he's going to stand up and try to pummel you.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Max can't keep his distance, I feel like Volkanovski wins in a just all-out brawl. I think Max wins in a slow fight.
Yeah,
But
you think Max is more of a in tune for kind of like a methodical fight, take your time, land your punches that you want to.
yeah,
Whereas Volkanovski is almost
yeah,
like he like just engage you, where he's just going to go in, he's going to throw some shit and try to knock you the fuck out.
definitely. I think Max can finish this fight definitely, as he's proven before. I don't think it's like a big hook that knocks somebody out.
Okay.
I definitely think it'll be a if Max knocks him out, it's gonna be like a third or fourth round, just based off of output
Mm-hmm.
type knockout.
So give me your. So you saying Max in the knockout in the championship rounds?
It's really hard for me because I really do think Alexander Volkanovski can finish this. I think if it's finished, it will be Volkanovski. If it goes to cards, it's going to be Holloway.
All right, Blake. Let me get your thoughts on this fight.
I got Holloway winning an easy decision.
Easy decision. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So like you're saying 50-45 easy?
Maybe a 50-46. Volkanovski might get round one.
Okay. You know, honestly,
Holloway already has this puzzle solved. Look the way he did Frankie Edgar.
yeah.
Look the way he did all these short little shrimps that he's faced like that. I mean, he's gonna just
Look what
hit
he's
the
done over
bat.
the past 2 or 3 years of fighting. The guy's on the roll.
Yeah, he's not gonna get beat by another featherweight right now.
All right. I like it. So you're going big time unanimous decision. I think it's gonna be sorry, what was that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. I'm kind of more siding with you. I don't think there's going to be a knockout in this fight. I think Max is also going to retain, but it's going to be close. I think it's maybe 48-47. He's going to get the decision 48-47, so it's going to be a really damn close fight.
Unanimous or split?
Sorry, what was that?
Are you gonna go unanimous or split?
Unanimous or split? I'm still going to take the unanimous decision. I still think that Max is clearly going to win the fight, but it's just going to be close. I think he's going to win 3 rounds, and Alexander's going to take a couple. I think Alexander's going to take a couple early. Max always going to settle the fight down, get back to his pace, and then just control it the rest of the way.
Okay.
I think that's
I like that.
so. We got 2 unanimous decisions from me and Blake, and Jalen is going with the knockout in one of the later rounds. I dig it.
Mhm.
I dig that. With that, let's move away from the co-main and into the main event of the evening, which is a much anticipated matchup between just a killer, man, the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman, who's 15-1 in the UFC. Or no one's want to fight him because that guy's a killer. So he's been champ for a little bit now of the welterweights. But now you got Colby Chaos Covington, the man everyone loves to hate and the man that loves to be hated. You got him number 2 in the rankings right now, but he gets his title fight against Usman. Who man, I'm really excited for this one. It's going to be really good. I think they're both great stand-up, but they're also both phenomenal wrestlers. How do you think this one's going to go, you guys? Don't be afraid to
This one's
step
pretty
in.
tough.
It's okay. Blake, yeah, just lead us.
This one's pretty tough for me because Colby Covington, before that Robbie Lawler fight, he was out for a while.
Yeah, he
So we
was.
hadn't really got to see him fight since that. I want to say Rafael dos Anjos fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and he's been doing his little act that makes him, the most hated person in
I
UFC
don't know about
probably.
you, but I love the heel character he is become.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
entertaining.
people talk about him, but he really doesn't do anything to hurt anybody. I mean, he just kind of acts like an asshole, and I
No,
mean,
right?
that's basically
The
it.
funny thing, he totally acts like the biggest asshole in the world, but like from interviews of people that actually know him, I heard he's actually a really nice guy.
If it
Which
actually gets him more money and shit like that, like I don't think you can hate on it because he's doing what he has to do to get more
I don't
money.
think
Like,
he
what,
has
do you
this
not want more
fight.
money at your job?
Yeah, right. I don't think he has this fight without this whole everyone hates him persona. I think if he
Not at
just
all.
didn't, and like after he got stripped to
Absolutely
the
not,
interim,
man.
if he just accepted it, he would not be here. I could guarantee that.
There's a big public interest factor in UFC, and that's known throughout every division. Like you
Mm-hmm.
have to be marketable in order to get these fights. Like you have to either be an international star, like that Chinese girl Zhang
Zhang
Weili
Weili,
Zhang, yeah,
or he'd be
or
the
Khabib
Conor McGregor that's done everything.
McGregor. You gotta have something behind you that makes you appealing to the masses.
Right?
Other than that, like there's no sense in having you be at the forefront of the card.
Yeah, see,
There's no
because
sense in
in the
having.
UFC, the bottom line, it's all about putting on good fights and running a great fighting company. But the bottom line is making money, and you got to be a
Exactly.
draw. It's
Everyone
entertainment too.
is targeted for this fight.
That's what it's about. A big chunk of it. It's about entertainment.
And what's interesting with this fight is these two dudes genuinely don't like each other.
They
I mean,
fucking hate each
it sounds
other.
cliche. It sounds cliche to say, but I mean, they're going to get into a fist fight, and that's going to be awesome because they're so high level, both of them.
The weigh-ins are going to be
Not
awesome.
only not only in striking, but in wrestling, they're both division. I think 1 and 2 wrestlers. I want to say Kamaru was Division 2 and Covington was Division 1.
Hmm.
So that'll be interesting to see them go at it and see who's going to be able to kind of make it go their way.
Uh huh.
I'm interested to see who, because Kamaru has kind of the physical dominance. I would say just from looking at it on paper,
Oh,
he's
if you
six
just
feet
look at the
tall.
picture between them on the UFC website, there's obviously a difference between the two of them.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see if Colby has the technique to overcome that and take it to where he needs it to be
Hmm.
and put him in positions that he will be dominant.
You think he does?
I Man, it's so like I keep saying, bro, it's so hard for me to say because these guys have not fought very often.
I think this is might be the
Um,
hardest fight to decide on.
yeah, like it's really a toss up for me on this one. Honestly, I don't know. I think it's gonna. I don't see a finish happening. I'll tell you that right now. Whoever wins this, I think it'll be on the scorecards,
Hmm.
and it's gonna be 3 rounds to 2. It just depends who finishes better.
All right, so give me your.
I think Colby might be able to sweep this one out. I'll give you that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Colby 48-47.
Okay, unanimous decision.
Split decision.
Split decision. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I've been thinking this whole time. I was thinking Colby split decision. It's going to be
Because of
something
his
really
cardio.
close.
His cardio is ridiculous. I mean, you saw what he did to Robbie.
Oh, he had was it went 5 rounds, right?
I want. Yeah, I do
Yeah.
believe.
He went 5 rounds against Robbie Lawler, who's no pushover fighter by any means. He still has it. But yeah,
He is.
Colby, he averaged one punch thrown every 2 seconds over 5 rounds. He had a number of takedowns. He was relentless. This guy, you saw the whole fight. Robbie was just looking for like some sort of moment where he could fight his way out, some sort of pause in the action so he could strike, and that just wasn't there. Colby was just suffocating him for 5 rounds, 25 minutes of just constant punches thrown, and I think that's what's going to give him the win on Saturday.
I think it'll be harder to keep that up against Kamaru,
Mm-hmm.
but if he can fight at that pace again, it's going to be extremely hard to beat that
What
guy.
do you do against someone who's that well conditioned? Because like after that Robbie Lawler fight, he wasn't even breathing heavy. That dude could still go.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to depend whether Kamaru can get on his horse and make him miss and fire back. I mean, Robbie really wasn't returning fire too often in that fight. It was kind of strange to watch.
He couldn't, straight up. Jalen, what's your take on this fight? You kind of thinking the way we're thinking?
Um, I think there could. I don't think there will be, but I think there could be a knockout. Just these guys hate each other, and they both have a lot of power. So
Mm-hmm.
I think hate mixed with the power leads to a knockout usually. Um, I think both these fighters have pretty much the same exact fighting style, just with a little bit of tweaks to it. They
Okay.
both just get on you and they just stay on you the entire fight, and they don't break a sweat. So it'll definitely be weird to watch because why they hate each other, it's kind of like they kind of do. It was the exact same thing to people
Mm-hmm.
every single week, and not week, but every single fight.
Yeah.
Like every single fight, they just get on their opponent, they beat them down, and they both their last fights. Kamaru Usman's last fight was against Woodley, and Woodley was seen as a person who throws bombs and just can't be broken, and Kamaru Usman broke him. And Robbie Lawler was seen as a person who throws bombs and can't be broken. Colby Covington broke him. Oh, it's going to be fun to see. I think it will go to the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it's going to go to the cards. I think Kamaru Usman is going to win it. I kind of think whoever takes advantage is going to take advantage. I think whoever dictates the fight is going to completely run the fight
Okay.
based off their fighting styles. I think that if Kamaru Usman gets it early and starts taking them down and pummeling them, he's going to pretty much just take the whole fight. Like if Colby does it, Colby's going to take the whole fight. Um, but I don't see this being a close fight. I feel like it's going to go one way or the other.
Okay.
I think Kamaru Usman's going to win it, but I definitely do see the possibility of it going the other way also.
All right. Yeah. No. The only way I see Usman winning this fight is by knockout, considering that's where 40% of his wins come from. And if it does go to the scorecards, I think Colby takes it. Man, but all in all, this is going to be one hell of a card, fellas. And I cannot wait.
Definitely.
I was happy because all this was being announced, I thought this card was going to take forever to get to, but it's flown by, and I am so ready for Saturday night.
I couldn't believe it already came up. Like I was like, we're doing the preview show this week already.
Right?
It's this weekend. Oh my goodness.
Man, I can't wait. Saturday is going to be so damn good. But there we go. We got all of our predictions on the table. We'll see how right or wrong we are by the time that Saturday is over. Then when we go to our recap show next week, we can make fun of each other for sounding like total dumbasses, or we can apply each other for being total fight geniuses. We'll see how that turns out, right? Yeah, man.
Ciao.
But thank you, Blake. Thank you, Jalen, for joining me for our UFC 245 preview show. Thank you, everyone at home, for tuning in. Hope you got some good knowledge out of this. Wonder if you agree with our predictions or not. Feel free to leave a comment. Of course, like, share, and subscribe. And go check us out on the Twitters and the Instagrams. Twitter is at Fourth Long Radio, capital F, capital L, capital R. And Instagram is Fourth and Long Radio, with the fourth being the number 4, followed by a TH. Thank you for joining us, everyone. And we will see you on the UFC 245 recap show.